Adnan Virk is here. He was on the carpet last night. He believes his Oscar analysis and movie analysis is second to none, and I am not going to argue with him. You could check out his podcast, Cinephile, here on the Le Batard and Friends Network. We're very excited to have someone here who was so close to the action last night. So quickly, I know you've got a lot to say, and I know you talk very fast. Your broad macro takeaways from what it is that you witnessed yesterday that was most interesting, most exciting to you.
Well, it was amazing, Dan, to be back there on the red carpet and be among my people, so to speak. And honestly, the buzz was back. It's been a long time since you've had an Academy Awards in which one film really captivated people. And you've had this system the last few years, this preferential ballot where one film wins a couple of Oscars, this wins a couple of Oscars. No, last night was an old school juggernaut. Everything, everywhere, all at once, dominating the Oscars and doing so in a way we haven't seen in a long, long time. Winning 7 Academy Awards and the big ones, of course, Best Picture and Best Director and the 3 acting categories. So I thought from a big picture, macro point of view, as you said, it was a good show. It was well produced. Jimmy Kimmel's a terrific host. I thought he got off some great zingers. He got to the elephant in the room, the slap, did it early, did it a couple of times, did it at the end. I thought it was an excellent show and really entertaining. And I agreed with most of the winners, which is rare.
You were on the champagne carpet last night, and you're in your home right now. You're still wearing a tux.
It's weird.
Wait, did you just hop on the plane wearing your tux?
That's right, Mike. I was there. You know, I recorded Cinephile, and I said, you know what? I still have that vibe. So I went to In-N-Out, and I celebrated what was an incredible night for me and for the Academy. And then I hopped on a red eye, and now I'm here in my basement. And I said, you know what? Let me just, for the sake of, verisimilitude, I will keep the tuxedo on. Maybe you can green screen me and people are watching. They'll think I'm still there in Los Angeles.
And then Everything, Everywhere, All at Once. It is a movie that is unlike any ever made, correct?
Yeah, and the greatest thing about it, Dan, is that it's so difficult to categorize. You know, the amount of texts, I got Booger McFarlane asking me, what's it all about? And I said, I can't answer that. He said, come on, don't be evasive. And I said, it's a science fiction, martial arts comedy. It's about laundry. It's about a woman doing her taxes. It's Michelle Yeoh getting the performance of a lifetime. But as you said, the reason why it received such a rapturous reception was because it's different. If you love the film, it's because it's audacious, it's original, and it's risky. And it's weird. There's no question about it. It's a weird movie. And if you didn't like it, and by the way, it's okay to be a detractor, it's too long, and it's too strange, and it's too absurd, and it's too self-indulgent. You can have all those varying opinions. But those that loved it appreciate the fact it really is a film which you're throwing everything in the kitchen sink at the screen, and it ends up being a surprisingly moving mother-daughter story.
Best Supporting Actress. Did you agree with the winner there?
I didn't, Roy. You know, I love Jamie Lee Curtis. She's a terrific actress, but this was truly the Lifetime Achievement Award. So Angela Bassett was expected to be the winner going into Oscar season. She wins a couple of major awards, a Golden Globe Award. But Kerry Condon also made a push with The Banshees of Inisherin. She won the BAFTA Award. For those who are aware, the British Academy Awards, she wins Supporting Actress. So it felt like it was going to be between those two. Then the Screen Actors Guild happened, and Jamie Lee Curtis won. Now, historically, the SAG Award winners, which is actor, actress, supporting actress, 3 of those 4 line up at the Oscars. Historically, it's very rare that you go 4 for 4. Last night, we did go 4 for 4. The SAGs were the perfect indicator of what would happen. And sometimes it can be an outlier because they can say, well, let's just reward this person for their body of work. But here's what happened. Jamie Lee Curtis did not give an Oscar-worthy performance in Everything Everywhere All at Once. But the film's a juggernaut. People love the movie, and they love her. And she's had an incredible career, going back to Trading Places and one of my favorite movies ever, A Fish Called Wanda. And Wakanda Forever is, again, an entertaining spectacle, but I don't think that's Angela Bassett's best performance, Roy. You and I know that's What's Love got to do with it, which was 30 years ago. So the voters said, okay, do we give Bassett the Lifetime Achievement Oscar? Do we give Jamie Lee Curtis the Lifetime Achievement Oscar? Or the best one in the category is probably Kerry Condon for The Banshees of Inisherin. Okay, we'll go with Jamie Lee Curtis, and she gives a beautiful speech. Listen, we can all make fun of the pomp and circumstance of the Oscars, and I'm with you guys. It's self-indulgent and it's narcissistic, but there's some great speeches. Ke Huy Quan for supporting actor, and Jamie Lee Curtis' speech last night was beautiful. She thanked her parents, Tony Lee Curtis and Janet Leigh, legends, right? Tony Curtis, Something Like It Hot, Janet Leigh in a Hitchcock Psycho, and she says, my parents were nominated, and now I won the Oscar, and she burst into tears. It was a really, really beautiful moment, and I wish I could do a Tony Curtis impression, but I don't know if I could. Tony Curtis, you know, I could take that guy, Cary Grant, that chump back in some like.
No one needed a Tony. No one needed a Tony Curtis impersonation.
Who's Tony Curtis?
I also wish you could do a Tony Curtis impression.
I wish you didn't do it.
Can you tell us, because I want to talk to you about some of the stuff that happened in Memes and Shadows, but when Angela Bassett isn't applauding Jamie Lee Curtis's victory there, what did you do with that?
Dan, this is one of my favorite moments. When I watch the Oscars, when they announce it, I have to quickly tweet, okay, I'm right, I'm not right. And then I immediately rewind it. And Dan, I do it multiple times because I have to see what the winner's reaction is. Jamie Lee Curtis was great, by the way. She goes, oh, get out of here. And she did the same thing when she won the SAG. She said, oh, come on. Like, really? Me? Like, no, that's not right. So I see the winner's reaction first. Then I watch the others' reactions, and I'm not quick enough, so it takes me one viewing to watch two of them and then one viewing to watch two. On the first viewing, all of us saw Angela Bassett was not pleased. And what I look for is this, not just the countenance, not just their facial expression. Do they pretend to give a smile, but they're clapping? And Bassett looks so pissed. This is my moment. I was supposed to win. And now Jamie Lee Curtis, again, it is not an Oscar-worthy performance. She's fine in the movie, but that's not her best work. And Bassett's going, I'm in Wakanda forever. I am regal. I am statuesque. I was supposed to win. And it would have been a historic award, by the way. First ever acting Oscar win in a Marvel movie. So I'm always amused, Dan, when that happens. I'm like, wow, just don't even. Billy Crystal, who I loved in Mr. Saturday Night, was nominated for the Tony Awards this past June. And when the winner was announced for the Michael Jackson musical, Billy Crystal didn't smile. He didn't clap. He looked thoroughly pissed. I said, all right, you get to a certain age, you go, I'm not even going to pretend. I'm mad I didn't win, period.
Adnan, let's get to the big story of the night, Maverick. Maverick was robbed. That movie saved everything. It saved Hollywood. It saved the theaters. It saved the world. It deserved a better fate.
It saved everything.
Yes.
Everywhere. All at once.
Yes.
Here's what is undeniable, Stu. And for those who don't know the story, part of what Stu is referring to, at the Oscars lunch where they all meet, Steven Spielberg went up to Tom Cruise and said, thank you for saving the movie. You saved Hollywood's ass. Exactly. That's Steven Spielberg saying that to Tom Cruise. Now, we're not going to go on my Tom Cruise crusade and why I dislike him and all the rest of it. But it's undeniable that Top Gun Maverick brought people back to the theaters, made $1 billion, and was universally lauded and appreciated by audiences and critics. It wins the Oscar last night for sound. So at the very least, Stu, you can walk around and go, hey, Top Gun is an Academy Award-winning film. But to your point, if you want a little bit more than sound, you walked out disappointed. How surprising, no Tom Cruise last night. I don't know if he was off, abusing people with Scientology as his method or whatever he's doing, but surprising. Tom Cruise was not doing it.
And then he was off filming Mission Impossible, saving movies again.
Yep.
You enjoyed your red carpet. Or
Like
your
one,
champagne carpet.
like one of these days, Tom Cruise, he's so proud of all these stunts. I'm going to tell one of these stunts is going to go awry. Okay, I'm just telling you. You can't keep going to your motorcycles off the Burj Khalifa. Eventually, things are going to go wrong.
What are you doing?
All right,
seriously.
and
You said everything.
stunt.
And by the way, best sound, no one cares. Tell me you won best sound 5 years ago. Go ahead, I dare you.
Okay.
I mean,
No, you're right. 5 years ago,
token
not
award.
Max Fury Road. I can remember that one.